Good evening, everyone. Could we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Megan, will you call the roll?
Trustee Lautner?
Here.
Trustee Zara?
Here.
Trustee Council?
Here.
Trustee Sheehan?
Here.
Trustee Stewart is absent. President DeCipio?
Here.
A quorum is present, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan. Next up on the agenda is recognition of graduating youth commissioners Will Akins, Julia Revin, and Charlotte Sands. And I know that we have Will with us tonight. So, Maggie, would you please do the honors?
Yes, happy to. Tonight we are recognizing 3 of our graduating youth commissioners. It's bittersweet. And I'm going to start tonight with Will Akins, who's here with us. Motivated by an interest and desire to understand the workings of the village government, Will became a member of the Youth Commission as a 7th grader in 2016. He continued to participate throughout high school, learning the legislative process and the importance of community service. Will valued the work of the commission and its mission to engage and energize the youth of LaGrange Park. He has become a well-rounded student, having started a small business as an FAA-certified drone pilot, and was active at Lyons Township High School in diverse extracurricular activities. These activities included business performance in academics, resulting in his acceptance to the Penn State Honors Program, which he will attend this fall. He will be pursuing a double major in mechanical engineering and business while playing for the water polo team. Will appreciates his 6 years of service on the LaGrange Park Youth Commission, which provided lasting memories and experiences he will apply to his future endeavors. Will, thank you so much for all that you've contributed as a youth commissioner, and congratulations.
You want to say anything more?
I mean, it was great for all 6 years. I really had a great time. I learned a lot, and I was happy to be doing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Will.
All right. I'm going to read a couple of additional remarks for our 2 other graduating youth commissioners. Next is Julia Revin. Julia is unable to be here tonight as she was awarded a scholarship from the U.S. Department of State to study abroad and is currently out of the country. Julia served on the Village of LaGrange Park Youth Commission for 6 years. Next year, she will be studying international studies, Russian and French at American University in Washington, D.C. In her spare time, she enjoys drawing and reading, and it was such a pleasure having Julia as part of the commission. And last but not least, Charlotte Sands. Charlotte recently graduated from Lyons Township High School and will be attending the University of Michigan in the fall, where she intends to study psychology. This summer, she has trips planned to Ireland and Nova Scotia. Charlotte was a member of the Eurythmics Dance Company at Lyons Township and was the president of the Business Professionals of America Club. She has enjoyed her time as a youth commissioner and enjoyed learning more about her community in this capacity. Thank you. Thanks.
Great, thank you, Maggie. And Will, on behalf of the board, I just want to thank you for your years of service to our community, to your community. And it seems that leadership follows you wherever you go. And we're going to be grateful when you do graduate and come back, and hopefully you get on the board. Okay? Okay, moving on, we have public participation of agenda-related items only. Anyone care to address the board? Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Megan?
Thank you, Mr. President. The items on this evening's consent agenda are as follows. A, approval of minutes. 1, village board meeting, May 24th, 2022. 2, closed session, May 24th, 2022. 3, village board work session, June 14th, 2022. 4, closed session, June 14th, 2022. B, action, variation request for 409 Spring Avenue, case number 22-0005. Motion to approve an ordinance granting a variation to Peter B. and Deborah A. Stojic to decrease the rear setback of the garage from 3 inches to 0.27 inches and decrease the interior setback of the garage from 5 inches to 0.32 inches at 409 North Spring Avenue. C, action, codification of amended Title 9, Chapter 95, Trees and Shrubs. Motion to approve an ordinance amending Title 9, Chapter 95 of the Grange Park Municipal Code regulating trees and shrubs. D, action, accounts payable and payroll summary. Motion 1, to authorize the president and chairperson of the Finance Committee to sign the register for bills and authorize the treasurer and village clerk to sign checks in payment of operating bills and salaries as itemized in the check registers. And motion 2, to authorize the village treasurer and village clerk to sign checks in the payment of payroll and other bills that become due between this date and the next village board meeting, with subsequent approval of the payroll register and voucher register by the Board of Trustees at its next meeting.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Apologies. Do I want me to feet?
Feet.
Sorry, Mr. Stojic.
Feet.
He's back there biting his nails.
Sorry.
Thank you, Kathy.
Sorry.
Okay, motion to approve this report is approved.
So moved. Second.
Megan, call the roll.
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Zara?
Yes.
Trustee Council?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan. Moving on to next is our village manager's report. Julia?
Thank you, Mr. President. I have just 2 items to report on this evening. The first item is regarding the storm cleanup following the June 13th high wind storm that we had. The Public Works Department completed its second cycle of cleanup of the affected area last week. They also had the assistance of our neighbor, the village of LaGrange, as well as the village of Bensonville for a day. Correct, Rick? Okay. And that work was greatly appreciated and helped us really get a head start on the work that we needed to do to get us back to normal. And so much so that the village and the Public Works Department was able to dedicate a team to the village of Broadview to assist with their cleanup this week. And they have concluded their assistance over there, but it was nice to be able to help out since we were helped out, so that was great news. Secondly, I just wanted to report that construction started at the new Andy's Custard this week on Monday, so that's exciting news. And we put that information out onto social media. It's also out there on other social media outlets as well. So a lot of positive feedback out there in the community, and that's good to hear. So it's exciting. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Julia. Okay, moving on to Administration Committee, Trustee Council.
Thank you, President DeCipio. Administration report is as follows. Arbor Day 2022. Each year, the village plants a tree in memory or recognition of a person or group. This year, the village will plant a tree in memory of Patricia Berry Rocco, who served as a village trustee for 8 years, and prior to that, as chair of the Sustainability Commission. Patty was nominated by members of the League of Women Voters of the LaGrange area. In addition to her civic involvement, Patty's nominators noted that she was a devoted League member who was committed to the environmental goals of the organization. The tree planting ceremony will take place Friday, July 15 at 2 p.m. The next on the agenda is the Youth Commission. The village is seeking 3 new members to serve on the Youth Commission. The Youth Commission began in 2002 and works alongside other village committees to make recommendations to the village board. The Youth Commission receives the same agenda as the village board and discusses the same issues, including land use, planning, economic development, police, public works, and finance. Meetings are held once a month on Monday evenings from September through June. Please visit the village's website to learn more and apply. The village offices will be closed on Monday, July 4, in observance of 4th of July. Regular office hours will resume on Tuesday, July 5th at 9 a.m. And that concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Trustee Council. Building and Zoning Committee, Trustee Zora.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to report the building department activities for May of 2022. 106 building permits were issued in May compared to 90 last year. 360 permits have been issued year to date compared to 396 in 2021. Estimated construction costs for the month were nearly $1.2 million, approximately 29% less than May 2021. Permit fees collected were just over $24,000, down approximately 23% compared to last May. 164 inspections were conducted in this past May compared to 161 in 2021. 4 inspections were not approved. 625 inspections were conducted year to date compared to 745 last year. Staff participated in an introduction meeting to meet key staff and review actual proposed site designs for a proposed new grocer development at Village Market. Patrick met with several property owners regarding rear yard drainage concerns due to rains that occurred earlier in the month. Patrick and Dean completed several inspections at Dubach Electric during the month in order to work towards a partial temporary occupancy in the production areas. ComEd agreed to install an additional electrical transformer near Hop District to resolve a voltage problem they were experiencing. Patrick, Dean, and the Cook County Health Department completed inspections and a temporary occupancy was approved for the brewery. A new fence was installed along the south end of Nazareth. Final inspections were completed and approved for the complete rehabilitation expansion at Village Market. Rick, Mark, Patrick met with the Andy's team to discuss direction to be taken on a sewer design. Our model permit was issued for the Huntington Learning Center, which is moving to a new unit within the Village Market, the old Susan Rogers space at 419 North the Grange Road. During this month, the concrete contractor began replacing all the pavement at the mobile gas station. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Zora. Engineering Capital Projects Committee, Trustee Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Hancock Engineering continued to work on its contract with the village for the lead water service replacement program. A postcard was mailed to approximately 450 residents in select areas of the village explaining the program and requesting residents' participation in the data gathering process. Over 210 inspections were conducted by Hancock by the end of May. Appointments and inspections will continue throughout the summer and early fall. The online survey form will be available to all residents by the end of June. Informational material was posted on the village's website in weekly e-briefs, emailed to explain the reason and the procedure for identifying and replacing any lead water services. All municipalities are required to submit a final inventory of their lead water services to the Illinois EPA by April 15, 2024. Copenhagen Construction completed work on the permeable pavement intersection project. A punch list of final corrective work was given to the contractor to finish before project acceptance and final payment. The project involves creating a permeable pavement at the intersections of Monroe with Community Drive, Robin Hood Lane, and Sherwood Road. Preliminary engineering design for the 26th Street resurfacing project was started. The project involves replacing sections of deteriorated curb and resurfacing the street between Kemen Avenue and Maple Avenue. Reconstruction of deteriorated drainage structures will also be included. Project plans and specifications will be submitted to IDOT for review and approval in June. The project may then be let out for bidding for construction. And that includes my report, sir.
Thank you, Trustee Sheehan. Okay, moving on, Public Safety Committee, Trustee Sheehan? Or Trustee Council? Which one's going to do first?
Yeah, I'll do this one. Sure. In addition to the attached statistical summaries, the following items are being reported to apprise the Village President Board of Trustees on current police department operations for the month of May. The total number of crimes reported for the first 5 months of 2022 are significantly lower than last year, with 139 incidents reported this year compared to 205 in 2021. The reporting of fraudulent unemployment claims related to the pandemic has drastically decreased, causing this significant drop. The traffic enforcement is at 1,254 total tickets issued through May of 2022. Overall police activity is 40% higher to last year, with 1,106 total incidents reported in the month of May compared to 733 total incidents in the month of May 2021. Of those 1,106 total incidents, 67 were to assist the fire department, 357 were self-initiated building or park checks, 173 were traffic stops, and 13 were closed home checks. PD staff took part in multiple Memorial Day celebrations throughout town and neighboring jurisdictions. Department members attended 125 and a half hours of training, along with the completion of required monthly online training and Lexipol daily training bulletins. Sergeant Tim Jania completed the Northwestern University Supervision of Police Personnel class that focused on the enhancement of leadership skills. Doug Rackow was sworn in as Sergeant of the Police and is currently supervising the afternoon shift. In May, the PD held a bike auction. 35 bikes were auctioned off and all monies were placed into the general fund. Please don't miss out on the upcoming National Night Out Fest, which is taking place on Saturday, July 30th from noon to 9 p.m. at Memorial Park. Live entertainment along with local food vendors, a dunk tank, and bouncy houses will be on site. Follow the police department's social media platforms for further details. Please follow the police department on our Facebook page at LaGrange Park Police Department, our Twitter account at LaGrange Park PD, and Instagram at LaGrange Park PD. A friendly reminder about securing one's personal property at all times. Please lock your vehicles in residences, especially during overnight hours. If you're going away on vacation, please utilize the new online vacation watch portal, frontlinepss.com/LaGrange Park, or log on to the village website and access the portal under the police department page. If you do not have internet access, feel free to fill out a vacation watch card at the PD between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. That includes the police report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Trustee Sheehan. Trustee Council?
Thank you, Mr. President. Is requested for insertion into the village board meeting agenda packet. The following is a brief summary of fire department activity highlights for the month of May. EMS incidents this month were 154. There have been 724 year-to-date compared to 691 year-to-date in 2021. Fire rescue incidents this month were 53. There have been 204 year-to-date compared to 196 year-to-date in 2021. Firefighters conducted several days of various types of training using the Plymouth Place cottages, which included search, hose line advancement, ventilation, etc. This was highlighted by 2 weekend days of great live fire training, which several of our firefighters spent a lot of time planning for and prepping the buildings. Over 2 days, 34 of our personnel attended, along with firefighters from LaGrange, Brookfield, Pleasant View, Hinsdale, McCook, and Riverside. Much activity took place in regards to all of the construction and remodeling currently ongoing. The initial fire alarm testing was completed for Dubach Electric. Hydrostatic pressure testing was conducted for the sprinkler system modifications for the memory care project on the second floor of Beechwood Manor. The building is located at Bethlehem Woods. Final sprinkler inspections and fire alarm testing took place for the lower level Plymouth Place Bistro and Salon remodeling project. The new underground water service for the sprinkler system was flushed for the new animal hospital being constructed inside 905 East 31st Street. During overnight hours, they completed installing fire sprinklers in Plaza 31, in the 7-Eleven, Dina's Great Cuts, and Subway. The plaza is now completely protected with fire sprinklers throughout. A presentation and tour of the fire department for the Youth Commission was provided by Chief Magos. A couple of fire department personnel and chief assisted with a community cleanup day. Personnel in our litter truck assisted with the WGN 13th birthday surprise ride to school event. Personnel also participated in appreciation barbecues at local hospitals for EMS Week. Personnel also attended a Troop 111 event to recognize a scout who saved his mother from choking. Chief Magos attended a portion of Mavis 10 hazmat training at the Citgo refinery in Romeoville. A reunification event was held with the family and baby that personnel helped deliver in April. The personnel attended the Ready Teddy picnic at the Park District with the ladder truck and ambulance. All fire apparatus underwent and passed annual underwriter's lab testing to ensure proper operation of their pumps. Last Saturday, the fire department assisted again with Memorial Day weekend ceremonies, attending with several personnel and displaying the flag with our ladder truck. And that concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, trustee Council. We'll move on to the action item. Trustee Sheehan?
Thank you, Mr. President. And the reason for this is for the security cameras. The general background included in the fiscal year 22-23 budget is the additional of security cameras for the police department, public works, and village hall complex. In addition to the cameras, an updated server is needed to accommodate the increase in recorded video. The police department is seeking the addition of 5 cameras, 1 in each cell, times 3, 1 in the sally port or prisoner intake garage, and 1 in the holding room. The Public Works Department is seeking 4 cameras, 3 on the exterior of the Public Works complex and 1 on the water tower. The Village Hall complex is seeking 1 exterior camera to be located on the southwest corner of the building. A proposal was obtained from the village's current IT provider, All Information Services, Inc., AIS, which includes all equipment, labor, along with any integration that is needed. The current cameras within the police department, public works, and village hall complex record to QNAP software, which is outdated and has limited availability for additional recorded video. The proposal from AIS includes new QNAP software along with a new server. The new software and server will also provide us with recorded video from all cameras for a longer retention period, approximately 10 months. The village will also have the ability to add additional cameras to other buildings or locations in the future if so desired. These cameras can and will reduce liability and provide transparency should an incident or situation ever be questioned. This project is budgeted under the capital project for both police and public works, $20,600 for the police department, $300-50-86500, and $9,000 for the public works department, $370-86700, for a total of $29,600. The proposal from AIS for completion of the project is $27,953.62. Staff recommends approval at tonight's meeting for the proposal from All Information Services, Inc., in an amount not to exceed $29,600 for the purchase and installation of security cameras for the police department, public works complex, water tower, and the village hall complex. Therefore, Mr. President, make a motion, 1, authorizing the Village of LaGrange Park to enter into an agreement with All Information Services, Inc., for the purchase, installation, and implementation of security cameras throughout the police department, public works complex, water tower, and village hall complex with a not to exceed dollar amount of $29,600, and 2, to authorize the village manager to execute the necessary documents.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion. Trustee Sheehan?
Thank you, Mr. President. It's unfortunate the times we live in that this is going to be safety and it's going to protect. If an event ever happened, it would be recorded. The system we have is outdated and we need to upgrade so that everything can be recorded. It'll be good to get the outbuildings online too as well. Safety first.
Thank you, Trustee Sheehan. Any other comments from any board members? Trustee Lautner?
Thank you, Mr. President. A couple questions. Is this going to be proactively monitored, or only if there's an issue, then we'll go back and look at the data first of all?
So the cells, LTAC will have the ability to monitor the cells, but it's more for recorded video. If there's an incident, we can go back. It's a lot for us to ask LTAC to monitor.
Yeah.
Just our cells. They're monitoring Western Springs, LaGrange, and I believe Countryside as well. So this is more if we need to go back to review something that took place.
Is it the server will be located at LTAC?
The server will be located in the
Right here. Okay. Okay. Have we looked into, or is there any potential impact on our insurance rates with the potential of reducing liability insurance or anything of that nature? Is that a possibility?
I think that's a good question. We can certainly double check, but the contribution that we make to IRMA, which is a risk pool for units of local government and intergovernmental agencies, is based upon experience and a revenue base. I would think that the types of technology that we are implementing here with the cameras is probably pretty standard as it relates to public safety departments, police departments, jail cells, and security monitoring that occurs at water treatment plants or water plants. So I think it's somewhat standard, and I don't, there may be, we can look to see if there's any grants available. I don't think so. We just scanned them last month, but I don't think there would be a reduction in our annual contribution. We do pretty well, knock on wood, as it relates to experience, but the single largest factor that affects our annual contribution, which is the premium that we pay for insurance, is based upon the amount of revenue that we bring into the village.
Now, and how about the body cams that will be forthcoming? Will that tie into the same server? Totally different platform?
Completely separate
Okay, okay.
platform. The body cameras that we're looking to implement, it's a cloud-based server, so the server will not be in this complex at all.
Okay. And what about annual maintenance? Will there be any annual maintenance for support of this?
That'd be through AIS, through our IT provider.
Get through them, okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Lautner. Any other comments? Seeing none, Megan, call the roll.
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Zara?
Yes.
Trustee Council?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you, Trustee Sheehan and Trustee Council.
Thank you.
Moving on, Public Works Committee, Trustee Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. President. For the month of May, DPW repaired 5 leaking water service lines this month. 4 of the 5 were found to be lead services and were replaced with 1-inch copper pipe. Staff had reports of 2 sinkholes this month, which were addressed by staff. DPW completed 5 modification kits on fire hydrants, which were leaking or found to be improperly operating. The Village Mulch program began and concluded in the month of May with staff delivering over 250 loads of mulch to residents at no cost to them. Brush pickup began in the first week of May. Crews made their way down every street in town picking up brush piles left by residents. Asphalt work was conducted to repair potholes and patch areas from previous excavations. This work will continue throughout the year. Parkway restorations were completed from excavations of water and sewer work. GIS work has continued collecting data on village-owned assets along with continued training throughout the village. Water meters were read in Section 2 and 15 monthly bacterial samples were taken. Various water and sewer work orders were completed along with resident tree concerns and general construction inquiries. Routine maintenance to the department's fleet and equipment was performed as well as to police and fire vehicles. I have one action item, Mr. President. It's in regard to the emergency storm damage that Village Manager Sadil touched on earlier. Assistance to the village by A&B Landscaping and Tree Services, Inc. Purpose is to approve a not to exceed amount of $45,000 for services rendered by A&B Landscaping and Tree Services for the emergency storm damage assistance. The village requires contractor assistance for storm damage as the Public Works Department does not have the equipment or manpower to restore the village in a timely manner. On the evening of June 13th, a large supercell storm hit the north end of Grange Park. The damage was widespread between the Grange Road and Maple, north of 31st Street. After the storm hit, Director Ratty contacted A&B Landscaping for assistance, and they had a crew on site within 30 minutes. They have continued to work every day since to remove hanging or broken limbs from damaged trees. In April, the department had asked our emergency contractor, Winkler Tree Service, if they would honor their pricing again, which they declined due to rising costs. We are planning on adding emergency and general tree maintenance to our upcoming bid proposal for the annual tree trimming program. A&B currently has our tree and stump removal contract, and we have been very pleased with their work and their timely response to our needs. We've evaluated their pricing compared to our 2021-2022 emergency pricing, and A&B is lower. Due to the substantial damage that occurred to our trees, I anticipate needing their assistance until the end of this month. The following is a breakdown of A&B's services. For the week of June 13th, the total cost for services rendered, $16,275. For the week of June 20th, the total cost for services rendered was $14,000. For the week of June 27th, maximum cost for services rendered, $14,000. Their rate for a chipper truck and driver is $200 per hour, and a bucket truck and driver is $150 per hour. For a normal 8-hour workday, the total per day is $2,800, compared to Winkler's, which was $320 per hour, or $5,120 per day. In the current fiscal year budget, there is $10,000 allocated for emergency services in the Public Works Fund, 170-60500. Staff recommends approving the not-to-exceed amount with A&B Landscaping and Tree Service, Inc. at tonight's meeting. Therefore, Mr. President, at this time, I make a motion to approve payment in a not-to-exceed amount of $45,000 to A&B Landscape and Tree Service, Inc. for emergency storm damage assistance.
A motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion, second, discussion. Trustee Sheehan?
Thank you, Mr. President. The storm came through, and our department, as Julia talked about, responded as they always do to take care of our residents first and foremost as quickly and safely as they can, and it's pretty darn impressive. A&B was out on site within a half hour, so the price is lower. There's a good relationship. They do good work. I didn't hear too many complaints about how the town looks now with the trees. Good job. I support this.
Thank you, Trustee Sheehan. Any other comments from any board members? Trustee Lautner?
Just necessary expense, I think, as a result of an unforeseen storm. And again, accolades to our Public Works Department that did a phenomenal job, but do have to pay for it for sure.
Yes, Rick?
I just wanted to, wanted to mention that in the actual memo, there was 3 weeks worth of work. Actually, A&B finished up to June 20th, so we're not going to need their assistance that third week. So, we're going to reduce that by $14,000. I do anticipate, though, as weeks move on, we start seeing some more die out in some of these trees up, and we may have to have them come back for 1 or 2 here and there, but ultimately we're not going to need them for that last third week that the memo stated.
Rick, do you see them taking on more of a responsibility within our village down the road?
We have a really good relationship with them. I'm see what happens with their next bid proposals with tree trimming, where Winkler comes in. They've been really good with our villages, for the 20 years as well. So it's nice to have that diversity. I just don't know. We'll find out where it all comes out to in June or July.
Yeah, just looking at the cost differential, it's pretty significant.
Yeah,
Good
A&B's
job.
been pretty good with pricing with us.
Yeah. Yes, Trustee Sheehan.
Also, Mr. President, if I might add, at the last meeting, weren't they approved for the stump and grinding, holding themselves to the 2015-16 pricing? So
Correct.
How often do you get that?
Yeah, that's been unbelievable.
Thank you, Rick. Any other comments? Seeing none, Megan, call the roll.
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Yes.
Trustee Council?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Trustee Sheehan.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Moving on, Finance Committee, Trustee Lautner.
Thank you, Mr. President. Finance report this evening for the end of May, which is 1 month into the first month of the new fiscal year. Fiscal year to date, General fund revenue is at 8.3% of the annual budget and about 297.8K or 51.3% greater than the prior year. Property tax receipts are down about 63.4K or 98.9% compared to the prior year. The delay in the Cook County property tax assessment review and appeal process due to a computer system conversion may result in second installment tax bills, which are normally issued by June 30th, with payment due on August 1st, not being issued until the calendar fourth quarter. Finance will continue to monitor this matter and keep the board informed. Other local taxes were higher by approximately 64.5K or 133.9% due to the timing of the receipt of the telecommunications tax. Intergovernmental receipts were higher by about 233.6K or 63.8% compared to last year. Income tax receipts were nearly 200K or 87.2% higher than last year, and sales tax receipts were up 12.2K or by 20.8%. Personal property replacement tax increased 19.2K or 91.6%. The income tax increase is in line with Illinois Municipal League's January 2022 updated projections and tracks with the village's fiscal year 2023 budget amount. The increase in sales tax receipts continues to reflect the local capture of sales tax on internet commerce. License revenue were flat at $1,511 as most license revenue is collected later in the year. Permit receipts were up 41.5K or 99.1% compared to fiscal year 2022. The increased amount is attributable to three significant projects: Plaza Street Partnership LLC for Andy's Custard, Tranquility Builders, and Plymouth Place. Charges for services are higher by 17.8K or 24.2%. Fine revenue was lower by 4.1K or 43.3% as compared to the prior year. The pandemic has impacted court fine receipts, and the state comptroller has suspended the collection of past due amounts for those eligible based on reported income. Miscellaneous revenue was 7.5K greater than last year due to 6.3K raised by police contributions through the National Night Out contributions. And total general fund expenditures, excluding the transfer of the Capital Projects Fund, were at 5.7% of the annual budget and 28.0K or 5.3% higher than last year. And most importantly, all departments are within budget expectations at the end of the first month. That's all I had to report from the finance area, Mr. President.
Thank you, Trustee Lautner. Okay, moving on to other reports, Village Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yesterday, June 28th, was the primary election in Illinois, and this is just a reminder that all election results can be found on the Cook County Clerk's website. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Moving on to Village Treasurer, let's go to Commercial Revitalization Committee. Trustee Zora, would you mind doing the report?
Sure, no problem. The consultant team presented a summary of community engagement feedback and potential streetscape concepts for the Village Market area during the Commercial Revitalization Committee meeting on Thursday, May 26th. The streetscape design concepts will be further developed this summer, and a coordination meeting with IDOT will take place in July to review and gather feedback on the potential changes to the Grange Road. The consultant team anticipates presenting more detailed streetscape concepts at the next Commercial Revitalization Committee meeting on Tuesday, August 9th at 6 p.m. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Zora. Okay, Village Engineer, Mark.
No report, Mr. President.
Our Village Attorney.
I have no report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Kathy. And motion to approve committee and collectors' reports as presented.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I have a couple items to report. First, I'd like to thank Rick and the Public Works Department. I'm still receiving accolades on your response to the storm and what our Public Works Department did. Not only the snow removal and leaf pickup and everything else you guys do at an exceptional level, this was no different than that. And congratulations and thank you for all the hard work. And the two chiefs, thank you for all that you did too to make it safe for them to get in there and do their job.
It was a huge team effort that night, and it was very impressive to watch them work their stuff as well as what we had to do. So it was a big night.
All hands on deck, right?
You made us all look good. It was wonderful. Thank you. Yesterday, we had an incident that the police department took care of, and Chief, I want to thank you personally for all the effort you did in putting the information out there in an expedited manner and taking care of it the way your force did, and nothing but gratefulness for how you guys respond to situations like that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, discussion action appointment of Juan Silva. Juan Silva to village trustee. Purpose is to seek village board approval for the appointment of Juan Silva to fill the vacant village trustee position. Amanda Seidel submitted her resignation as village trustee on May 16, 2022, resulting in a vacancy on the village board. Given the length of time remaining in the term, subsection 3.1-10-50E of the Illinois Municipal Code requires that the village president appoint a qualified person to fill this vacancy within 60 days from the date on which the vacancy occurs. I submit the name Juan Silva to the village board for its consideration to fill the remaining term of the contract trustee position that expires in May 2023. Mr. Silva is a resident of the Grange Park for more than 15 years and owns Beach Avenue Barbecue in the neighboring Brookfield. He has been an active volunteer in the area, having served on numerous boards and committees. He is an active member of the Rotary Club of Brookfield Riverside and served as director on the Brookfield Chamber of Commerce. Prior to his work as an active business owner, Mr. Silva was a social worker in Chicago. He currently lives in LaGrange Park, across from Trustee Council, with his wife and 2 children. Mr. Silva looks forward to the opportunity to serve the community as he feels that it is important to give back and give to others. Mr. Silva was not able to be with us tonight since he had another family commitment. So therefore, I'd like to ask a motion from the board.
Mr. President, I make a motion to appoint Juan Silva to serve as village trustee for the remaining term expiring in 2023.
Second.
Motion and second, any discussion? Trustee Council?
I think Juan will make an excellent trustee. He's fiscally responsible. He obviously owns his own business, and that brings a lot of responsibility with it. And I know he's a decent, upright person in the community, and he really cares about LaGrange Park. Obviously, to submit his resume, he cares enough to want to seek this out. So I'm in total support of it, Mr. President.
Thank you, Trustee Council. Any other comments from the board? Trustee Lautner?
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, I'm excited with his background. It's prior to his business ownership, the social contributions and the involvement he's had in various communities in his background. I think it's going to be a real plus for us. So I'm excited about his entree as well.
Thank you, Trustee Lautner. Any seen none other? Megan, will you call the roll?
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Yes.
Trustee Council?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan. Next up is the appointments to fill remaining commission vacancies. Listed below are the current members of the Sustainability Commission and the Planning and Zoning Commission, as well as my recommendation for appointments to existing vacancies. Sustainability Commission consists of 7 members. The new members would be Mark Cohen, with the appointment expiring 5/1/25, and Katie Conway, 5/1/25, on the Sustainability Commission. On the Planning and Zoning Commission, Stefano Campo would be the new addition. And I did have some background on Stefano, but I don't have it in front of me. Where's the information? Here we go.
Right here.
Oh, that's it. Okay. So Ms. Camp was a licensed realtor for Diapro Properties in Hinsdale and has experience with zoning regulations in several communities. She is a resident of more than 22 years, having raised 3 children, and is quite familiar with programs and amenities in our community. Thank you, Kathy. Therefore, I'd entertain a motion.
Mr. President, I make a motion to, 1, appoint Mark Cohen and Katie Conway to the Sustainability Commission, each to serve the remainder of a 3-year term expiring in May of 2025, and 2, appoint Stefania Campo to the Planning and Zoning Commission to serve a 5-year term expiring in May of 2027.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion? Seeing none, Megan, will you call the roll?
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Zara?
Yes.
Trustee Council?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Thank you, Megan. Last thing I have is proclamation for National Night Out 2022, July 30th, July 31st, and August 2nd, 2022. Whereas the National Association of Town Watch is sponsoring a unique nationwide drug and violence prevention program on July 30th, 31st, and August 2nd entitled National Night Out. Whereas National Night Out provides a unique opportunity for the Village of LaGrange Park to join forces with thousands of other communities across the country in promoting cooperative police community crime prevention efforts. And whereas the Village of LaGrange Park's Police Department plays a vital role in assisting the Cook County Sheriff's Department and other law enforcement agencies through joint crime, drug, and violence prevention efforts in the Village of LaGrange Park, and is supporting National Night Out 2022 locally. Whereas it is essential that all citizens of the Village of LaGrange Park be aware of the importance of crime prevention programs and the impact that their participation can have on reducing crime, drugs, and violence in the Village of LaGrange Park. Whereas the police community partnerships, neighborhood safety, awareness, and cooperation are important themes of the National Night Out programs. Therefore, be it proclaimed, July 30th, 31st, and August 2nd be recognized as National Night Out in the Village of LaGrange Park. And we are so looking forward to it, Chief. Thank you. Okay, any public participation? Seeing none. New business? I will mention just briefly, really quick, Julie and I had a conversation, and Maggie actually too. We may want to consider next year to take a meeting off in July and or August, one of the two. I think it behooves us because people go on vacation and they're busy and everything else. So not this year, but maybe when we come down to December and approve the following year calendar, we may want to consider that. Any other new business? Motion to move into closed session?
I'd like to make a motion to move into closed session for the purpose of discussing collective bargaining in accordance with 5 ILCS 120/2, C, not to return to regular session until the next regularly scheduled meeting on July 12, 2022.
Second.
A motion and a second. Megan, call the roll.
Trustee Lautner?
Yes.
Trustee Zara?
Yes.
Trustee Council?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously, Mr. President.
Great. We'll move into executive session. Everyone have a great week. Thank you.